Okay, students, we are here now with how to classify our blessed consonants. Okay, so first we will take into account the definition for plosive sounds. What is a plosive sound? This is a manner of articulation. Remember that. Okay, so um, the plosive sounds, they make a plosion somewhere. A plosion in the when they release the air after blocking it. Okay, so we have three stages within plosive sounds. Please remember this forever. Three stages. Okay, because we will need these stages later on. Okay, so now the first stage, sorry, is a total closure. Yeah, you have a total closure, a total obstruction of the air stream made somewhere. In this case, we can have bilabial. Okay, both lips. Okay, ba. The closure is total. We don't let the air escape. Okay, then air accumulation behind the closure and a sudden release. The air comes out. Okay, and the plosive disappears. Okay, so when the air comes out, the plosive disappears. That's why we call plosives stop consonants, because they cannot be in a progressive way. Yeah, if you open your mouth to utter them, they disappear as long as you release the air. Okay, so plosive sounds. The first ones will be two bilabials. Okay, we have a voiced bilabial plosive and a voiceless bilabial plosive, and here you have the grapheme, how we represent them with these graphemes. Okay, it's like a B and a P, but they are called voiced and voiceless bilabial plosives. If we are about to call them by their phoneme names. Okay, so we have three pairs of plosives. Yeah, two bilabials. This is the first pair. Then we have two alveolar plosives. Okay, here we have two alveolar plosives. The voiced alveolar plosive and the voiceless alveolar plosives. And these are them. Yeah, check this. They are kind of the same symbol, but they are upside down. Yeah, it's not a coincidence. It's because they are almost the same sound, but they have the difference that one vibrates and the other one does not vibrate. Okay, and in this case, one vibrates and the other one does not vibrate. Voiced, voiceless. Remember, yeah. Now we are matching, joining. We are placing all the theory that we were dealing with previously in this part. Okay, so please activate your brains. So then we have a third pair. They are the velar plosives. Yeah, they are made in the velum. Yeah, we place the velum. Remember the velum mirror a and ga g. Okay, so we place the velum, we lower our velum, and we raise our back part of the tongue, and we make these two parts, we make them touch. Okay, and that's how we produce these velar sounds. How do we produce alveolar sounds? By placing the tip of the tongue against our alveolar ridge, and bilabial plosives or bilabial sounds are made by placing both lips together. Yeah, okay, so bilabial, both lips, alveolar, touching the alveolar ridge with our tongue, and velar, the velum with the back part of the tongue. Okay, so two velar plosives, voiced velar plosive and voiceless velar plosives. These are the representations. So if I ask you to tell me the name of this phoneme, you shouldn't say, no, you must not say B, P, or B, P. No. The name of this sound, yeah, represented by this grapheme, yeah, is voiced bilabial plosive. The name of this is voiceless bilabial, plosive. Okay? We have three voiced plosives. b, d, g, 3 voiceless plosives, 2 bilabial plosives, 2 alveolar plosives, and 2 velar plosives. All plosives, yeah, have a pair. 6 plosives in total. 3 voiced plosives, 3 voiceless plosives. Okay, group them in order to have your brain trained. Yeah, when you are explaining your theory, or when you are explaining something that I will ask you to do, you need to do it in a quick way. You don't have to be thinking, oh, what is the name of this, and I'm placing your tongue here, your lips here. No, you need to know them. Yeah, please. And this, you will gain this by practicing. That's all. Touch your body, recognize your body, and then please recognize the the movements, the things that you do, the phenomena happening when you speak. Vibration, no vibration, okay, plosion, okay, in this case, what parts are being touched in this sound, and other things. Yeah, so 3 pairs of plosives, 6 plosives in total, okay, and group them, please. This will help you a lot. Okay, so let's go on. Then we have fricative sounds. Why do we call them fricatives? Because they make a friction. Okay, there is a closure. There is a closure, but the closure is not that closed. You have a little place where the air is escaping, and this makes a hissing sound. These sounds are not stop sounds as plosives. They are continuant consonants. This mean this means, sorry, that you can they can continue as long as you have air in your lungs. For example, you can keep uttering the sound as long as you have air, but the plosive sound, it disappears as long as you open the closure. Yeah, so these are the differences between the two of them. Stop sounds, stop consonants, and continuant consonants. They are progressive. They can keep on being uttered as long as you have air. Okay, so let's go on. So fricative sounds. We have the first fricatives that we will start dealing with are 2. We have a voiced, yeah, and a voiceless. Teeth and lip. How do we call them? Labiodental. Okay, so one voiced and one voiceless, labiodental fricative. Will vibrate and will not vibrate. They are a couple. Yes? Let's go on. The dental fricatives are voiced and voiceless, the voiced and the voiceless dental fricative. And they correspond to the digraph TH. Whenever you have the TH, in most of the cases, you utter these ones, these 2 dental fricatives. Between the teeth for us, in order to exaggerate, because native speakers, they tend to place the tongue behind the teeth. Okay, but for us it's okay to exaggerate. Okay, so the definite article, for example, and think, to think. Okay, 3, they correspond to this digraph. Digraph means 2 graphemes, or 2 letters to 1 sound. Okay, so let's go on. I think here we have a definition for a digraph from Oxford Learner's Dictionary, a combination of 2 letters representing 1 sound. For example, PH for F and SH for sh in English. So let's go on. Fricative sounds. Then we have the alveolar fricatives, voiced and voiceless alveolar fricatives. These are really important to study, because then we will start dealing with final sequences, and we will need them the same as we will need alveolar plosives too, previously seen. These are zzz, the one that vibrates, and ss, the one that does not vibrate. So up to here we have 3 pairs, okay? Then another pair of fricative sound. Okay, yeah, palato-alveolar. The palato-alveolars can be 2, voiced and voiceless, okay? These are j and sh. J, as we here in Resistencia, we have this sound whenever we want to utter the Y, and whenever we want to utter the digraph double L, yeah? Lluvia, llave, yo, payaso. It's kind of a sexy sound, okay? And then we have sh for people from Buenos Aires, from Patagonia, some parts of the north of Argentina too, like Salta. They tend to utter this digraph double L and the Y with sh, okay? Sh, okay? And we do this j and sh. We have rounded lips, yeah, like this, rounded lips when we utter these sounds, okay? Here in this place in Litoral from Argentina, this shape of the mouth, yuru chupita, okay? Yuru is mouth in Guarani, and chupita is something that we play with in February in Carnival. It's like a balloon full of water, okay? So we have 4 pairs of fricatives, yeah? First, we have labiodental fricatives, then dental fricatives, alveolar fricatives, and palato-alveolar fricatives. The 4 of them have pairs, okay? 1 voiced and 1 voiceless, yes? Then we have 1 non-binary, yeah? And this is the only voiceless non-binary, yeah? It has no pair, it has no couple phoneme within these consonant chart, okay? So this is the glottal, as in hello, hi, yes? It's voiceless, and the representation for it is the H, okay? But we name it glottal. We can call it glottal because there is just 1. Yeah, so we have 4 voiced fricatives, 5 voiceless fricatives, 2 labiodental fricatives, 2 dental fricatives, 2 alveolar fricatives, 2 palato-alveolar fricatives, and 1 glottal fricative. Okay, they are 9 fricatives in total. Up to now we have 6 plosives and then 9 fricatives. They are 15 sounds. After fricatives, we have affricate sounds. Affricate sounds are a combination of 2 previous sounds, a plosive and a fricative sound. Yeah. Why do we say that they are a combination? Because they have these stages of the plosives, but in the final stage they take a little bit more time to produce a kind of hissing sound or friction. Okay, so when you open this total closure, you have like a little time to make this friction. Sorry, like in church, yeah, and John. Palato-alveolars are j and ch. Check. They are represented by a plosive, a voiced plosive, and a voiced fricative in order to make the voiced affricate, and a voiceless plosive and a voiceless fricative in order to represent the voiceless affricate. You can call them voiceless affricate and voiced affricate because they are just 2. Yes. So 1 pair of affricates, 1 voiced affricate, 1 voiceless affricate, 2 affricates in total. Let's go on. Now we are with nasal sounds. Nasal sounds. Why do we call them nasal? The manner of articulation is the way the air escapes. Why do we call them nasals? Because the air comes out through the nose. Okay. In this case, there is a total closure. Let's take the sound. The air is coming. It finds the total closure here. Then it goes back, and then it goes out from using or through the nose. Okay, so the air escapes through the nose. Yeah. So we have three nasals. They don't have pairs, and all of them are voiced. We have the bilabial nasal, which is the and it's represented by this grapheme. Then we have another nasal, which is the alveolar nasal. They correspond to the plosive, bilabial, alveolar, and velar. Remember that? So bilabial nasal, and it's represented by this one. And then we have the velar nasal, which is in the back. It's the one of anga. Remember the mirror? Anga. Okay? So all of them are voiced, so you can call them bilabial nasal, alveolar nasal, and velar nasal. That's all. This is the representation, and this corresponds to the N before k and g in this combination, NG and NK. So let's keep moving. We are about to finish. Yeah, we are nearby. So approximant sounds. These are kind of difficult sounds because the ones that study phonetics and phonology, well, phoneticians, they can separate them into other subgroups, and they can call them in other ways, yeah, like glides, liquids. We will talk about this later, but now we will call them approximants, and we will call one of them lateral sound. Okay, so what are approximants? They are sounds that involve the articulators approaching each other, okay, but not narrowly enough. Yeah, they have like a slight space, yes, where the air passes through and creates kind of turbulence. Okay, this group is quite versatile, as I told you, as it can be found as different names or categories. For example, liquids, glides, and semivowels. Here you can check you can check a link in order to read about this. Okay, so the approximant sounds. We will call approximant to three of them, yeah, and to one of them we will call it lateral sound. Yeah, first we have this approximant, which is the palatal approximant. All of them are voiced. Yeah, the palatal approximant is represented by this grapheme, by this letter, yeah, the J in this case, and it's yeah, and then we have the labiovelar approximants. So you can call them, sorry, because we have two already. You can call them palatal and labiovelar because they are the only palatal and labiovelar that we are about to study. Yes. So these two sounds, y and u, they are called semivowels too. Why? Because they are perceived as vowels. Yeah, we hear vowels when we pronounce them. We pronounce them as vowel sounds. But according to, remember phonology, the organization of sounds. According to this organization, they are distributed in the places of consonants. So they will occupy places of consonant sounds. Yeah, they are pronounced like vowels, but occupy places of consonants according to the phonological distribution. So remember this: the semivowels are these ones, yeah and wa. But please, for me, call them labiovelar and palatal respectively. Okay, let's keep on. Then we have the last one. We are in the end. No, sorry, no, it was not the last one. Then we have the postal velar one. The postal velar is the ra, Yeah, ra ra ra. Yeah, and it's represented like this. Um, the ra sound corresponds to, for example, in some places here in Argentina, we have this sound rapido, yeah, in certain provinces or certain regions, and in Paraguay in certain words or in certain um, area of words they pronounce this ra sound. American English, they do this all the time, and well, in AP pronunciation we will have it whenever it is in front of vowel sounds. So this is the postal velar approximant, and we call it approximant, but please, postal velar approximant, because they are three for us. Please, please, please. So let's go on. The lateral sound. The lateral sound is an alveolar sound. It's here, okay, and it's called lateral because the air flows through the sides of the curl made by your tongue. Okay, when you utter it, you have like a curl with your tongue, touching with the tip of the tongue your alveolar ridge, and the air escapes through the sides. Okay, and it's represented by this one. So there is one palatal, one labiovelar, one postal velar approximant, and one lateral. So you can call them palatal, labiovelar, postal velar approximant, and lateral. Okay, these are all the consonants that we are about to deal with. So count them, please. Group them, please. We have 24 consonants, 8 pairs, which means 16 sounds, and 8 with no pair, which means 8 sounds. So 24 consonant sounds. These were the consonants. This was the presentation for consonants. So I hope you enjoy this. Please enjoy, because this is really really interesting. Okay, so see you in the next video with vowels. We won't describe them, so we can start practicing something, please. So see you guys.